Yay!
Hello, everyone. I am Mustard's human employee, still not unionized or receiving currency. Nonetheless, we are joined with.
Autumn Skyhall.
Hello, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm sorry you're not getting pay yet. You guys should totally unionize.
Mustard, I'm working on trying to teach Mustard about currency. We're getting there. They got me healthcare, so I'm grateful for that.
That's nice. Okay.
Grateful for that. But you're doing well today?
Yes, I'm doing awesome. I am at a cafe in Pennsylvania right now.
Ooh, very nice. PA is a great little area. What do you like for coffee wise?
I get chai tea lattes.
Oh yes, those are my favorite.
Chai tea lattes.
Yes, those are my favorite. I spent way too much money on those in college. But all right, so you've been in the music business, the music industry for 25 plus years in the folk scene in California. Do you want to share how that all got started? You don't have to jump all the way, to the first year of the 25 years, but.
Well, the short story is that I'm neurodivergent and on the spectrum, and music is my special interest. So I've never not had music be a part of my life, and I've been writing since I was truly a tiny child. But I got into stringed instruments right at junior high. From the violin, I bounced really naturally to guitar, ukulele, banjo, electric guitar, auto harps, that kind of thing. And I've been there pretty much happily for the rest of my life. I played in Sacramento from when I was 12 years old all the way to 32, and I just made the move to the East Coast, which is so weird and wild for me because I'm a real creature of habit, obviously. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Why'd you move?" And I'm like, It's been great though. I really like it over here. There's an awesome folk scene, and I've met so many sweet people. So it's been a nice adventure thus far. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Was it a big difference going from California to Pennsylvania?
Oh yeah. It's pretty funny. People just automatically know that that's where I'm from, without me telling them. They're like, are you from California?
Humans are so interesting like that.
They don't wear a lot of color here. I wear a lot of color. So, yeah.
So it's bleak or it's muted. I would say, I guess not bleak. That's a harsh
they're
word.
Really into their muted, neutral casuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like dressing like an old man from the 70s.
Do you think that muteness, because environment plays such a big part in songwriting, do you think those mute colors, the neutral colors, and the environment, do you think that will play a big part in future songwriting for you?
I mean, I'm sure everything seeps into my music just really naturally. And I'm a big sponge. I'm a big spongy sponge. Everything that I'm interested in gets into it somehow. I used to read all these different kinds of books, and I have tons of songs that reference all the books I was reading at the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So to travel back to California, you were inducted into the California Music Hall of Fame. You had Artist of the Year, Songwriter, Best Indie. What was that experience like?
Tiring. No, it was really fun. I met a lot of people through music, and I have really awesome friendships and all these great stories that are not. I mean, I talk to people sometimes, and they're like, "And you did what? And what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's weird." I just have so many friends who are I think the age difference of people who are in music is really funny, and I have like some genuine sweet friends who are all like 70-plus-year-old guys. And I'm like, that's my other dad. Yeah. That's not weird.
No.
I was like, he's really nice. Like, anytime I'm like running out of like equipment, or like I'm like playing a gig where it was like 114 degrees, like he and his wife are like bring water or shit.
Aw.
So cool. Yeah. So that's nice. It was all a wild blur, and I started really young. I kind of just like was trying to push myself as hard as possible, because I figured like, you know, I wasn't in college. I was like deciding to do that as I had been in college, but then I decided to like do music as like the thing. So I just approached it as I would have college if I'd been in college, and I just decided to take it like as seriously as college. So that's what I was doing, kind of like make my parents feel not so stressed out. And I'm like back in college every so often now, but like for a different major. Yeah, it was a wonder and really cool, and I'm really glad that I'm still in it. It's like a completely different world now, but it's still a good one. I love music a lot. It's very I don't know. It's very like reinventing and invigorating and inspirational, and you can find yourself at like different ages through it so nicely. Yeah. So
that's great, and I think that's the beautiful thing about making art. And like you said, like the age things, you can go back to when you were like 15 and like see your songwriting style then, and then as you develop and experience. Yeah.
Everyone's like, we love this song. You're like, that?
Would you say your songwriting process is similar to how it was back then, or did that evolve as well too?
Yeah, it's definitely evolved a little bit. But that's nice. I used to only have like one way of writing, which is like to get super obsessed with one idea, think about it for like months and months, and then at one point in time, I finally be like, "Oh my god, that's where I'm gonna start." And all I need is like a starting line, or like some like thought that was like short but sweet. I really love poetry, and I love writing. And songwriting was like the best for me, because it's really satisfying to be able to take a huge idea and like just like concentrate it down to like the tiniest form and line, and be able to say so much with so little. Like, So that's like really fun for me. But now that I'm older, like I also like I write a lot with other people doing like instrumentation behind me and all that. Never did that stuff before. It's cool though. It like has led to some interesting stuff, and like I've been in like many genres of musical projects, and yeah. So it's different, but that's good, because it's made it not as monotonous. Like I could definitely get burnt out with like doing things completely one way when I was younger. So I'm glad that like I've grown as a person, and also like I know that like not every single thing I do is going to be amazing. And if I collaborate with other people who I think are like the sweetest, most awesome, rad musicians, like usually it's always leads to something amazing.
That's great. Mustard and I, we're big on poetry as well. Who are some of your favorite poets?
I read a lot of E.E. Cummings when I was really young, back in the day. That was a big one for me. Yeah. I have like a lot of my Angelou books.
She's amazing.
She's a lot. Yeah. She has like such a warmth, and everything she says sounds so obvious, but like no one had ever said it that way before. You know?
Yeah.
like deeply relatable and deeply moving, and you're like, oh, anyone could say that, but no, not everybody could write it or think about it in that way.
Yeah. That's why her quotes pop up everywhere from like books and TV shows and wherever it may be.
Oh, yeah.
And you meant she is. And you mentioned that you're collaborating more with artists when it comes to, because I know every artist has like a different process of it. Do you focus like with your sessions? Is there just like one day focused on lyrics, one day focused on production? How does that usually go?
Well, I just started working with my friend Tyler Childs, and they're a queer musician here in Pennsylvania, and we're writing and focusing on songwriting that's like reflective of the queer identity and queer relationships and queer life. And we, like, the first couple of sessions was literally just like feeling each other out, like seeing what worked, and like we have like a really natural flow together when we're writing. But yeah, sometimes I'll just be like, here's a song that I really like, we'll work on a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, your song, and then we'll like switch gears, work on their song a little bit. But that's nice though, because like it keeps me like having to think of new things, or like I love when like they're singing their song and I can be in the background and be like trying to think of like something clever to like sing in the background as like either like harmony or some kind of like refrain that like fits the song that they're working on. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So you have that ability to work off of each other and bounce ideas off of each other, which is really cool. I think really helpful as well.
It really helps too that like I love everything they do. Every song they're like, damn, that's incredible. I would really appreciate if you could like maybe write something that's like less good all the time.
Have you asked them to do that?
So good.
Have you have you asked them that at all? Have you like spoken to them about that? Like next practice. You're welcome. You.
Like, hey, we should like have like we'll side table this and be like, hey, do you mind if you could like stop being like super good? Thanks.
So, one song of yours that Mustard and I really enjoyed and think about a lot was My Anxious Brain and Heart, because we feel like it's so relatable to the human experience. Would you be able to talk about that a little bit more? What was the process like behind that song?
That sounds so great for me. It was so satisfying to write because I was trying to write something super narrative. Americana is a very, very narrative storytelling genre, and you have to be like deep in your emotions and close to your feelings and able to process that like really easily. And I was going through a lot, having a lot of change. I literally was like singing it, writing it as I was working with this baby I was working with, and like she went for a nap, and then I took out the guitar and like started writing it, and I came up with like the idea of my anxiety and my depression, like sitting down at the table, being like, let's fucking hash it out. Let's figure this out. And I loved it so much. I was like, whoa! And like it became a good version with like better melody, like later on as I worked on it. I just like wrote down really quickly like the chunky version that was mostly just like ideas, feelings, here it is, and like did it in a voice recorder so I wouldn't lose it. But yeah, it's so fun to play, and it's like never not relatable for me personally, obviously, because it's like something that happened to me. But it was also like one of the first times where I was able to take something I was aiming for and like low key kind of mostly get it, or maybe like get it in the way that was right for myself, as opposed to like getting it in the way way that's right for other people, or like sounds like other people. That song, for whatever reason, sounds a lot like me. Just really, really nice.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing because it's the most like authentic, or one of the most authentic versions of you. Like you said, you know, it sounded like you, and you weren't trying to sound like someone else, and I think that definitely shows in it too. And just
Basically, I'm like, yeah, it's interesting because like as a songwriter who loves other people's work, like you're in music because you love music, right? But like it takes a hot second for you to be able to come out of the place where you're just like doing recreations of somebody else's work because you don't know who you are musically yet. And like when you hit it, it's so nice because I look at things that I'm writing now where I'm like, well, I want to write about the queer experience, but I don't want to write about queer experience in general because I can't speak for everybody. And I don't have the same experiences as everybody else. Like, that would be not true. So I just kind of like write from my experience. And I'm like, my experience is like sweet and easygoing and gentle and calm and like, that's my experience and that's my truth. So like that's like where it should be coming from, and like it's been like really, really nice. So
yeah, that's great, and I think that's so important too, that you're not selling yourself out just for you know, like TikTok or social media or the screen. Because Mustard and I have noticed, you know, there a lot of popular artists now are TikTokifying themselves or writing music specifically for that like 15 to 30-second span, and the rest of
giving yourself like a 6-minute hook, like 6-second hook that like gets people using it in a video. Like I like wish that I could write that kind of music, but it doesn't come out for me naturally, you know? It's like a long haul if I try to do anything like that. So at the end of the day, I just I am trying to be accepting of like who I am and what kind of music I make, and I'm trying to be respectful and loving of like little kid me who just really liked to play guitar. Yeah, and it helps a lot. I'm just like, I'm just doing it for little kid me.
and that's a great reason to do it, I think. You know, the inner child should never be forgot or neglected. So
Yeah, I don't want to make myself feel like I should be embarrassed or something like that. Like, I think everybody, if you find your niche, like, there's really no way that you can do it badly. And it's not only that, but like the more specific you are to like your own music, and I'm sure you know this to be true, the more specific to your kind of music, like the better the groove is, the better the feel is, where you reverberate with it, the more that you will totally dispel people who would not like it, which is good.
yeah.
I used to think that was bad. I was like, I gotta appeal to everyone. I was like, honey.
That's true. That's true.
You don't want that. Nobody wants that. It's bad.
No.
You get the weird people at shows. But you get like people like pop out of the woodwork. You're like, I really like this. And you're like, what? But that's great. It's like that's how you find folks who want to listen.
That's true. And I think
they genuinely want to be there for you.
no, and that's great. And I think listeners can pick up on that authenticity, that genuineness of it too. And since we're speaking so much about selves and how important, you know, it is to be true to yourself, your Reclamation of Self project, are you still working on those, or is that is it?
So this year in particular, I'll just talk about it with you because I don't know like the next time I'm going to talk to anybody. I'm releasing 2 singles April 15th. Yay.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to do an album at the end of this year in the fall.
Oh, awesome.
And then I'm going to do another Reclamation of Self project that'll be out this year sometime too. Right.
Awesome. that was our next bit that I had written down of what's coming next. So you'll have the songs in April and then at the end of the year. So that's really cool.
And for folks who don't know, like the Recognition of Self project is basically, I've written a lot of songs since I was a kid, and I did not have the money or the ability. I didn't know who to talk to record any of the things that I'd written or released back in the day. No idea. So I have a lot of friends that like had come out to shows and really loved those songs, but I didn't really have the handle on like how to get those to them. So I basically have been recording all my old songs to release just like for fans who loved stuff back then. As I'm recording stuff that's going to be released this year, and it's going to be like a very, it's going to be very queer. It's going to be so gay, but like a queer Americana album, basically.
Oh, awesome. And then I know you put a majority of your music is on Bandcamp. Is that where everybody will be able to go find it?
Stuff to it over this year, yeah.
Awesome. So you, and then while Mustard and I were doing our research, at the end of your bio on your website, you joked about sending you some tea. We were wondering, what's your favorite kind of tea?
So there's this kind of tea where it's green tea, but then they also add toasted rice.
Oh,
and I think
okay.
pumpkin my chai or something like that. Yeah, it's so awesome. Or like I dig a white tea. Or there's this kind of tea that's black tea, but they wrap it up in like cotton and they bury it under trees and then let it ferment. And then they take it out and it's all funky and it's like, I think it's called a puree. I could like be butchering the name. I used to be the tea person that like keeps coffee. I was like that tea person that people wanted to talk to. I knew everything about it. So I like have like a huge amount of wisdom on tea, particularly for reason. But yeah, it's my entire personality. So thank you for bringing it up.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. No.
What are you drinking?
Yeah. My wife really is really big into tea. And we have like some food allergies and stuff or whatever. And chamomile tea seems to be like magical and everything that it does. Whether with like stomach pain, skincare, like it's great. So, chamomile.
Wait, what's your wife's favorite kind of tea?
Chamomile. At the moment, she's really into rubus, but still chamomile with something.
Yeah, of course. Rubus tea is where it's at. It's really delightful. It tastes a bit like chocolate.
It does.
It's kind of naturally caffeinated without having caffeine.
Yeah.
And then my mom's a midwife, practitioner, nurse practitioner, midwife. She's basically like a pediatrician, but she does like health wells.
Oh, cool.
She swears by chamomile tea. So if your wife ever needs, like, my mom literally will steep 5 bags at a time in like super hot water, let it like steep there for like 20 minutes, and then it's basically like low-key medicinal dose for anxiety. If you're like sensitive to anxiety.
Okay.
My cat was like sick last night, and like I drank so much of it. So
no, I will let her.
You too.
I will let her know because she does something similar. She'll do like 3 to 4 bags of tea, or like chamomile bags of tea, and it just helps her so much. But yeah, tea's great. Tea and matcha are what's in the house over here for us.
Matcha's a lot. I'm very sensitive to caffeine.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, ooh, low key tripping.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
A few minutes high, I was like, hi,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no.
it's a very discernible difference. Like, people would be like, what are you on in high school? And it was literally just caffeine.
Yeah.
My personality and caffeine mixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That people assumed I was on drugs.
Yeah, no. I growing up for the longest time, I had like coffee every morning, but as I got older, I realized I was like sluggish more, and the energy wasn't really there. So I replaced coffee with matcha instead, and I've noticed like a huge difference. The aroma of coffee though still gets me like, oof, like okay, maybe I'll have a cup, but
it's so beautiful. It is. It's a lovely, lovely smell. And
it is.
I miss it. So.
It is. I know we got
getting old.
So I know we got a little sidetracked. So you said that you have a song coming out in April, and then you'll be working on your album, which will be out in the end of the year, and that will be all up on Bandcamp. For those of you who haven't listened to you before, where can they go to listen to you, or how would you like to pitch yourself?
Bandcamp.com. Bandcamp.com. I'm on Spotify and stuff like that. But like booze means tomato. If you want to like listen there and like give me listens, thank you so much. But like also you could pay me, and then most of the proceeds would go straight to me. Anything that I get from music goes directly to funding my music because my real job does not do any of that. So you can consider it a donation to my cause. Yeah, other than that, if anyone's listening or here with us, I really appreciate y'all. And thank you so much to Mustard. Please pass the thanks on to Mustard. Yeah.
Will do.
Fun being here.
Of course. And we hate this. Well, we don't hate it. Hate's a strong word. But in the description below, you'll be able to find Autumn's Bandcamp, social media, and other social links as well. But no, thank you for joining us, and I'll make sure to pass along your kind words over to Mustard.
Thank you very much. All right. Tell your wife I said hi.
Will do. So we'll let you go though, but we thank you so much for being here. All right, and we'll keep in touch.
Have a good day.
You as well.